Everyone, welcome back. It's been some time since I've done a painting tutorial, and with all the new mid-war stuff out, I thought there'd be a few new players trying to figure out how to paint their Italians. So here they are, the mid-war Italians. I'll be painting up the Semovente longs, as everything else I have is already painted. So as I go through it, I will record what I'm doing, and hopefully it will be very helpful to people new to the hobby, or people who haven't painted mid-war Italians before. They're quite easy, very large amount of the model is just one colour, and with the use of contrast paints, take a little bit of time off the painting process. So they should be out of the box and on the table, nicely painted quite quickly. There might be quicker methods out there, but these ones won't look amazing. They won't win you any competitions anytime soon, but they will be fully painted and looking a bit rugged. So we'll have a look at how I started off with the painting.
Okay everyone, so this is one I did earlier, so this is from a few years ago now. This is one of the older Semoventes that I did. Now, quite simple to paint the Italian armour. It shouldn't take you too long. The thing that will slow you down the most are the tracks and the road wheels, but I found ways to do them a little bit quicker. And even though they're quite quick to do, they look quite nice, the riveted tanks with a nice little wash on them. So we'll start you off. So put this to the side so I can try and remember how to paint everything. So you can see they're all base coated. They base coated using an army painter spray called Desert Yellow. If you can still find the Italian armour spray, use that, but this is very, very similar. So what you're going to do first is to go over any areas you didn't cover. So with that, it will be Vallejo green ochre, and it's very similar. It's not going to be noticeable if you paint this over, and keep this as well in case you have any little faux along the way in your painting journey. So go over everything, make sure you have this. So we'll keep that to the side there. But what we're going to do first is we're going to be doing the tank tracks. Now, this tutorial is just to get your models on the table pretty quick. You're not going to be winning many prizes using my style, but we're going to be doing the tracks and any wooden handles on the tank using contrast wildwood. Now, with these, make sure you give them a good shake. I would put a mixing ball in them as well, just so you can get the pigment from the bottom into it. So we will be doing the tank track, so make sure there's a little bit on the inside you might be able to see, and then there's a handle. All the Italian tanks should have like a little spade on them, but have a look at the stock on any MGs as well. That might be on the turret. So do that, and we will come back once it's all done and see how it looks. Okay everyone, that is the contrast paint applied. It dries quite quick, and as contrast paints goes, gets in all the crevices and is pretty useful, and I wish we had this a few years ago, because tank tracks are a pain in the arse. So now we've done that, we're going to go on to another contrast paint, and you can see that there's a shovel on the back. Okay, so next we're going to do the road wheels. And once we've done the road wheels and the tracks, it's pretty much plain sailing thereafter. And for that, we're going to be using another Citadel colour, and it's going to be contrast Black Templar. And it's, again, mixing ball, give it a good shake up before you use it. And we're also going to apply it onto the end of the barrel as well. So we'll have a look how it looks on the model. So there we go, there's the road wheels done. And you can see the little tip on the barrel is done, and be careful, sometimes you have a few road wheels attached to the hull here and there. So that is that done. So now we have finished that. You can see there are some jerry cans on the side of the hull. With the plastic models you can attach these. I usually do, and most of them already have them on the hull anyway. So for that you can just leave them the colour they are, but I'm going to be using another Citadel colour, Mechanicus Standard Grey. Normally I'd leave them, but I've already done my other tanks with this colour jerry cans, so we'll be putting that on them. And if you have any crew members sticking out, I do basically them in this colour as well before going on to the face. So there we go. Okay everyone, as you can see here, the canisters on the side are done. They're, what should I say, jerry cans. So what we're going to do is let them dry, and while we wait for them to dry, we're going to be doing the exhausts on the side of the Semovente, and pretty much all the Italian tanks have them by about here and here. So we're going to be doing that with another Citadel colour, Citadel layer, brass, scorpion. Remember, give it a good old shake, mixing ball, you know the drill by now. Okay, so you can see the exhaust looks quite nice with the brass scorpion. So what we're going to do now, wait for the areas you painted to dry, and we're going to be doing the bottle caps on the jerry cans with metal colour, and any machine guns, tools, finish off in metal. And the metal we're going to be using, you can use any of the Citadel metals like lead belcher, but we're just going to be using Army Painter gunmetal. It's quite a nice dark metal. I find looks really good for machine guns and tools for this scale. So we'll get that on and we'll have a little look. Okay everyone, that's the metal bits done. So on these Semoventes it's just the caps on the jerry cans and this little shovel at the back. A little quick look around, there's no other little hidden tools that always tends to pop out later on in the painting. So wait for all the areas to dry before we go on to the next step, which will be a shade over the entire model, and we'll be using Citadel colour shade, Agrax Earth shade. So with the metal models it tends to pool a bit. Just go over the whole model and then see how the pools end up, because sometimes it makes it look like a nice little weathered look to it. But do this and then wait for the drying and we'll have a look at the results. Okay, so that is the shading done. As you can see, it does still look a little bit patchy. I've gone over it a couple of times now. Oh yeah, I'm actually going to leave it like this because it kind of gives it like a free weathering look really, as the sun is slowly bleaching away the paint or like build-ups of oil on the tank. This is a resin and metal model, so it tends to do this a little bit more, but hopefully on your plastic models it should be a bit better. So essentially really that's the model finished. So all you need to do now is put some transfers on. So with these ones they've already put jerry cans on the mould on the side of the hull, so it'll be a bit tricky to put some markings, but I'll be trying to put the registration on the front of the tank, little Semovente triangle to the right of the barrel, and I might put the Ariete division right by there. So I'll show you that. So I've already pre-cut them. I've bought the pack of Italian decals that seem to come back into stock, so there's just a variation of different ones there. So I'll do that. We'll have a little look and I'll show you the best way to tone down the brightness, the sheen that you have on the decals or transfers, whatever you call them. Okay, so the transfers are on, so you can just about make out their license at the front, and then we have a little marking here, and then we have the division emblem there. So they tend to be a bit shiny, the transfers, when you put them on, but what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be putting an anti-shine matte varnish over it. Not only does it tone the shine down, but it does give them a bit of protection. Normally I would spray it with a similar thing, but it's been sunny all day until I got home, so I'm going to do it now like this to show you, and then I'll go over a few other things that you might find in the Tobruk set that I haven't gone over. Okay, so that is pretty much those models done, but there's a few things I haven't really covered. So if you're doing scout cars, there's a blessing with them because they don't have tracks, but what I do with them, I do the wheels exactly how I do the road wheels on the tank, just do it contrast black. Now if you're new to the hobby and you got the Tobruk set, you also have infantry crewing the guns, so for them you're going to want to do their uniforms desert yellow, not to get confused with the base coat we actually use to spray the models, which is also called Desert Yellow, but this is different. And the webbing, so like the belts, stuff on them, do yellow green. These both Vallejo. For the skin, paint the skin areas white and then go over it with contrast Guilliman flesh, and then give the model a wash in Agrax Earthshade. And that should be about it for your Italian stuff. These ones do look a little bit patchy, but I quite like this rugged look that you get. With your plastic models, you shouldn't really get this. And there you go. So didn't take particularly long to do. Took me a few days because the only time I needed to do it. But nice, easy tanks to do, and as you can see with the older one I showed you at the start, look quite nice when they come out in the end. So hopefully you found that interesting and useful, and so if you do, I'll try to do a few more painting tutorials, and just like and subscribe. So thank you very much for watching.